cute. Love it. Hello. I'm gonna tell you a story today. A few stories, actually. Some of these stories you might relate to. I have no idea. But I think a lot of people in my generation, Gen Z, can relate to working in the service industry, working in retail, food service, all of that fun stuff. Sometimes we get customers that we don't particularly like. Once upon a time when I was around 18 years old, pre-college, I worked at an indoor water park. And this water park was owned by a family that not a lot of people like. They own a lot of different companies around town and are pretty well known, and they don't really treat their employees very well. The majority of the managers don't even get a 401k, which, what the heck? So let's just say it was definitely a not so great retail job. So what I did is sell wristbands to the people who would come in. For the most part, it was fine. Like, it was pretty easy just tearing off the little adhesive and then like doing a loop around the person's wrist and then bam, you go right in. But we did get a lot of questionable individuals. There were a few times when I would get like men from the military who were probably in their mid-20s to mid-30s trying to hit on me. Now, I was 18, legal, whatever, morally questionable. And I can't tell you how many times that actually happened. They all had their military ID and we had military discount. They'd be like, oh, like, do you like a man in uniform? And I'd just be like, I'm still a child mentally. Get away from me. Like, I know I'm cute, but... There was another time when this woman came in and she was complaining about the prices. People complain about the prices a lot, but like, if you're going to a water park that has like a bunch of different features, get used to the fact that it's going to be somewhat expensive. So there she was complaining about the prices and I'm like, I can't really pull a discount out of my ass, I'm sorry. Of course I didn't say that because I was a shy, scared little thing who, if someone yelled at me, I would cry. My coworker and I finally sold her the tickets after she stopped complaining, and then a few hours later, I get this like random kid who brought a swimsuit up to me and she was like, oh, like I found this in the restroom. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was a swimsuit that was purchased in the gift shop that we had like across the front desk. And I was like, oh, that's weird. I wonder like what happened there. And so a while later I get two managers running up to the front desk and being like, have you seen a woman who stole from the gift shop? And I was like, huh? Now the thing was that there was a huge lobby between the gift shop and the front desk. So like I noticed that woman like perusing around all of the stuff that we have in there, but I like didn't think a thing of it because like people do that all the time. But this was starting to get a little suspicious, right? A little suspicious. So I was like, I mean, no, I didn't see her in a gift shop, but like I have this swimsuit that was from the gift shop, so I assumed that maybe she purchased it. I had absolutely no idea what was going on. And so my managers like ran back downstairs, and before I knew it, there she was running in the lobby trying to get out, and all of a sudden like the police come in and like arrest her, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so I was told by my managers that she had stolen that swimsuit and a few other things from the gift shop and we're just like using it around the park. But I watched this woman get arrested and I was just like, what just happened? Yeah, so that was a day. So there wasn't only problem customers, but my manager was a huge problem. She was pretty nice, you know, like as far as managers go, whatever. She gave me chapstick when she learned that I graduated high school, which was 2 months before I started the job, but whatever. What a lovely gift, chapstick. Thank you so much. I actually think I still have that chapstick. Just to clarify, I was probably getting around $7.50 an hour, which if you know, you know. And I worked at least 39 hours a week, which a lot of you know is literally 1 hour less than a full-time job, and I was getting $7.50 an hour. Not fair. So the fact that I was working that many hours, I was like so overworked and sad, and I just felt so tired every day. And my manager would gaslight me, and she would be like, oh well, I work so much more, I need to provide for my family and I don't get that good of a salary, so like we need you here. Madam, that's not my problem. But of course back then I didn't understand workplace boundaries, so I just took it, which is something that I regret, but at the same time, who I was back then would not have said anything to her. And there were a few times that I would call off work just because I was so tired from working all the time and not getting that much money. But I distinctly remember one time, I don't know if she was like an assistant manager or like a supervisor or something, but this woman scared the hell out of me. So the supervisor picked up the phone on a day that I decided I wasn't gonna go into work because I was just so overworked that I just could not function that day. Like I was breaking down in tears. And I called and I was like, oh, like my mom is sick, I have to stay home today. She said something along the lines of like, we're not taking anyone else off the schedule today, like you have to come in. And I thought to myself, what? Like, do I really? Like, it was not my fault, we were understaffed. But I had a feeling she knew I was lying just because I was a pretty bad liar back then. And she was like, yeah, so you're coming in. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come in. I'll find someone else to help my mom today because she's sick. And she's like, yeah, you do that. And when I went into work that day, there was just like an awkward air between us where she knew I was lying and I didn't mention it. And then I was like, oh yeah, like my mom is sick. Like I tried my very best to convince this woman that my mom was actually sick. But again, she never believed me. Back to my manager. I remember when I came back after like my first semester of college, already overworked and very tired from said semester. And I was working during December and January, which are two extremely busy times, mainly because of all of the discounts and specials that we were having at that time. I keep saying we and I don't even work there anymore, oh my god. And since it was like an indoor water park and it was snowing outside, like you're gonna take that opportunity to swim. And I remember texting my manager and I was like, I can't work the amount of hours that I did over the summer, like I'm still burnt out from school and I just don't have that much time and I can't like work all these holidays. Like I'm basically still a teenager even though I was 18. Like when you're 18, you think you're an adult. You're not. Mentally, you're not. She texted me back and she was like, Christina, I haven't had like time with my family and I've been working every single day. Like the least you could do is come in and allow me to see my family. That's not gaslighting. I don't know what is. And here I was feeling guilty, even though this grown-ass woman was trying to take advantage of me, and it was just terrible. I hope she's doing better now and she's not continuously gaslighting her employees, but who knows? Moral of the story, I'm really glad I don't work there anymore. It was pretty crap. But again, when you are a teenager, you usually have very limited options when it comes to working your first job, and especially the wage that you get. Can you stop it? Thank you. And I knew people who worked there for years getting that amount of pay and trying to support their families, and they would have like 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and they would still be treated really poorly by the manager. Hi. So I really hope that they're doing well as well. We have a guest. Ooh. Always covered in cat hair. But yeah, I suppose that's all for now. I have a lot more work stories that I could tell on a later date, but that's just a little crumb of what you'll get today. Hope you're doing well. And I'll see you soon. Bye.
Bolts of lightning, pouring rain, crescent moon has taken itself far away.